Hey friends, my name is Ash, and today I want to take a look at the word fictophilia. Fictophilia is a relatively new term for another one of those feelings or energies that has existed well before the language developed in an attempt to define and understand it. While I don't personally have a degree in linguistics or anything like that, my degree is in fine arts actually, as someone who identifies with this term, I'd like to take this opportunity to reflect on the etymological components of fictophilia and see if we can put together a rough definition to establish a decent foundation that could help other folks get a better idea of what it actually means. Philia is a Greek word derived from phileo, meaning to love. It can also be translated as friendship, love, affection, or fondness. According to Wikipedia's article on philia, philia is one of the 4 ancient Greek words for love: philia, storge, agape, and eros. In Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics, philia is usually translated as friendship or affection. The complete opposite is called phobia. Examples provided in this article, citing Gerard Hughes' Nicomachean Ethics as the source, include young lovers, lifelong friends, cities with one another, political or business contacts, parents and children, fellow voyagers and fellow soldiers, members of the same religious society or of the same tribe, and a cobbler and the person who buys from him. The article also references Aristotle's Rhetoric, where he defines the activity involved in philia as wanting for someone what one thinks is good for his sake and not for one's own, and being inclined, so far as one can, to do such things for him. Thomas J. Ord is also referenced, though not directly quoted, defining philia as an intentional response to promote well-being when cooperating with or befriending others, with the caveat that his philia is not only that meaning. The philia also gives humans authentic friendship. A final quote from the article that feels relevant: Aristotle takes philia to be both necessary as a means to happiness, as no one would choose to live without friends even if he had all other goods, and noble or fine in itself. So for the purposes of this video, we'll roughly reference the definition of philia as being something in the ballpark of a love that inspires companionship and mutual happiness. According to Merriam-Webster's online dictionary entry for the word fiction, it is a noun that can be used to describe something invented by the imagination or the act of creating with the imagination. Pretty straightforward definition, but let's look a little deeper. The online etymology dictionary gives a bit more of a breakdown in its entry for fiction. The entry references the old French word fiction, which means dissimulation, ruse, invention, fabrication, and the Latin word fictionem, nominative fictio, which is described as a noun of action meaning a fashioning or feigning from past participle stem of fingere, meaning to shape, form, devise, feign, or originally to knead or form out of clay. I recommend looking more into the etymology of this specific word because it's genuinely fascinating, but for the purposes of this video, I think we've covered the necessary ground. Putting together the etymologies of the Greek word philia and the English, Old French, Latin word fiction, as we've just deconstructed, we might end up with a definition that looks something like an affection or fondness for that which has been sculpted or formed in the mind. Or maybe more similar to the term homophilia, something like an individual's tendency or preference to associate and bond with energies that exist in liminal spaces, with liminal spaces referencing those realms of existence between imagination and reality. When most people come across a term like fictophilia, it's usually a result of looking into terms like fictosexuality and fictoromanticism, so we'll just go ahead and tackle those potential definitions while we're here. With the definition of fictophilia that we've just constructed, one might consider fictoromanticism and fictoromantic by association to be something like the romantic attraction and individual experiences towards entities formed by or existing in liminal spaces. Or if you want a less pretentious sounding definition, maybe something like a romantic attraction someone experiences for fictional characters or imaginary beings. And of course, the definition for fictosexuality. Given the previously defined terms, the definition for fictosexuality might look something like the sexual attraction and individual experiences towards entities formed by or existing in liminal spaces, or a sexual attraction someone experiences for fictional characters or imaginary beings. These are pretty rudimentary definitions for a romantic and sexual orientation, but it's a start. Again, I highly recommend doing more research into other romantic and sexual, including aromantic and asexual spectrums, the identities therein, and finding the nuances for yourself. Because I'm just one person doing their best with what they have, and I assure you it will be a much more rewarding experience for you to find more information on your own terms. For now, I think I'll leave this here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to talking with y'all again soon. See ya!